here today at FTC with Philip Eliasoph, past chair of the Art History Department at Fairfield U. Hello, Philip, and welcome.
Buongiorno, nice to see you, Trevor, and it's very exciting keeping connected, Fairfield.
We're going to talk about Philip's dream trip to Italy, which I'm dying to go on. So, Philip, how did you start having folks go with you to Europe and look at art?
I ended up living in Florence when I was 21 years old, and that first summer living in Florence, it just became an evolution and a continuation of a movable feast, as E.M. Forster called it.
So now, if I go on the trip, what would a participant like me expect to find on this trip?
What distinguishes a university art and art history and culture tour is that our focus is really to have firsthand experience with the artworks. And people are really surprised when they see that, whether they're standing in front of Michelangelo's David or they're in the Uffizi Gallery and they're suddenly looking at original paintings of Botticelli or Raphael. So it's all about the firsthand, the immediate, the tactile, the experience.
The physical experience of really being in there. And one of the things you've specialized in is Medici history, this remarkable legacy of a family that really affected the Italian Renaissance. Can you tell us about that?
Well, the Medici family, I think, would be the prototype for maybe the Sopranos meet the Rockefellers. I mean, I sometimes call this trip, it's about art and culture in Florence, but it's a subtitle, Trevor, is this is the Medici's Florence in the Golden Age: power, politics, piety, painters, popes, princes, and propaganda.
Fabulous.
It's all one.
Sexy stuff, right? The Medicis knew how to spin things.
They had exquisite taste. They bought Roman antiquities. One of the only copies of a manuscript of Virgil is in Florence in the Lawrenziana Library. I mean, these were passionate collectors. And it's those collections that they acquired, amassing over 300 years of buying every possible antique or medieval or obviously commissioning the great artist of their time, Botticelli, Fra Angelico. They acquired this huge collection, and here's something, and I know you do a radio show also about speaking about the role of women. No one really understands that if it weren't for this great woman, Anna Maria Luisa Medici, in 1742, in her last will and testament, she bequeathed to the people of Florence and Tuscany what are today thousands of artworks, the first public art collection in the world.
Great legacy from a great woman. So behind us is Sandro Botticelli's breathtaking painting, the Primavera from 1482. Would you tell us a little bit about the symbolic depictions in this painting?
Primavera, the coming of spring. You know, using the allegory of the revival of the pagan gods. You know, again, another very particular moment in Florence is the marriage of pagan antiquity with the new Christian humanism. So in this painting, you see women wearing what are wedding dresses that we have in the Textile Museum in Florence. You see women beautifully gowned, and it's in this sort of never land taking place in the Medici villa up in the hill of Fiesole. And look at the top, there are these little orange balls, and little orange trees. Those are the orange balls actually on the Medici coat of arms.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, it sounds like an amazing trip. Everybody should check this out. You can go to Fairfield U and learn more about Philip Eliasoph and his wife Yael's trip to Florence, and I believe
Let's give the date. January 1 to January 12. Italy is still in high holiday mode because the holidays in Europe end with Epiphany. So contact Study Abroad office at Fairfield University.
Study Abroad office, Fairfield University. And thank you, Philip, so much for being with us today. And you've been watching Keeping Connected Fairfield. And stay tuned for more segments.